Hello and welcome back everyone for the English session. Today in this video we are going to cover our second prose lesson, that is we are not afraid to die if we can all be together. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together is written together by Gordon Cook and Alan East. It's quite strange that this particular lesson has a name of two authors, but both in combination came out with such adventurous story. And I definitely believe that you would like to read such adventurous story. The story is all about the Gordon Cook's adventure in the sea. He decided to do certain adventurous activity. Actually, he was a businessman. He was happy with his life. He had achieved all the success. Despite that, he decided to arrange an adventurous trip for the family. And in that adventurous trip, what happens? That is what we are going to study in this story. Before we jump into the story, we have two authors here. Let us come to know about both of them. First is Gordon Cook. He was born in December 3, 1978 in Toronto. He is two, he's a two-time Canadian Olympic sailor. He is the son of Stephen Cook and Linda Cook. He had a great interest in writing stories too. So, somewhere after reading about the life of Gordon Cook, you will feel that he has some adventurous spirit in his heredity only. You will notice here that he is a two-time Canadian Olympic sailor. So earlier also, he was involved in the adventurous activity. Another author we have, because since this Gordon Cook and Alan East has written in combination, Alan East was admitted to the role of solicitor in 2003 and has gained extensive experience as a litigator, manager, and legal trainer. This Alan East was very good at drafting the things, and Gordon Cook was very good at adventurous activity. So he might have written certain accounts about his life, but since Alan East was very good at drafting and all, Gordon Cook would have told or would have given him invitations about uh, writing together, because he had some good life experience, Gordon Cook, and he can, with the help of Alan East, they together can write some sort of masterpiece. So we in this story is going to study about some of the adventurous event. As it was previously discussed, author decided to go on a voyage, long journey through the sea. He also involved his family in it. Let me simplify it. Author Gordon Cook एक बिजनेसमैन थे. वो अपनी लाइफ से काफी खुश थे. Money was never a problem with him. But somewhere he thought that he should get involved with the adventurous activity. तो उन्होंने ऐसा तय किया कि पूरी दुनिया का भ्रमण शिप में किया जाए. Then it would be very adventurous. So he decided to travel the whole world through the sea with his family. It was a private ship he had, and whatever experiences he had, this is what written in this story. And when we come to know about the title that we are not afraid to die if we can all be together, in the title itself, we come to know that in the lesson, we are going to encounter a situation where the author or the hero probably would be in a condition where there might be a fear of death. And this whole family was together. And this striking statement was somewhere coming in the lesson too, that we are not afraid to die if we can all be together. जब तक हम इकट्ठा है, जब तक हम साथ में है, तब तक हमें मृत्यु से डर नहीं लगता. And who speaks that statement? In which situation that statement was spoken? That all will come to know after after we complete the study of this particular story. Before we proceed into the lesson, the paragraph which we shall discuss, let us have a short, discussion about words that will come in that paragraph. Voyage, a long journey by sea or space. It is called voyage. Leisure, free time, you already know that. Honing means sharpening or improving. Seafaring, regularly traveling by the sea. And there is a phrase that comes that means honing our seafaring skill, means improving the skill required to travel by the sea. Wooden hull, a watertight body of a ship. Ships are generally built in such a way where the water may not enter inside. If the water sweeps in inside, then probably the ship may not survive. It will sink inside the water. So wooden hull is a watertight body of a ship. Let us begin with the reading of the story. In July 1976, author's wife Mary, his son Jonathan, who was 6 years old, daughter Suzanne, who was 7 years old, they all set sail from Plymouth, England. Actually, these people, family of the author, decided to go on a world journey. On a previous occasion, somebody had achieved a great success, and that is why it is given that they wanted to duplicate the round the world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. अब ये कैप्टन जेम्स कुक है, उन्होंने 200 बरस पहले वर्ल्ड वॉयज किया था. It was a great achievement. He was appreciated all over the world. And similarly, author also wanted to get that type of success. Then author also gives informations about himself that he was 37 years old, businessman, but he wanted to he wanted to achieve his dream of sailing, and he wanted to do something like James Cook, the famous explorer. And this journey, Gordon Cook did not start his journey abruptly. It was not a one day's dream that he slept at night and early in the morning he told his family, let's go on the world tour in a private ship. It is nothing of that sort. He had made proper preparation. ऐसा तो नहीं था कि एक रात को वो सो गया, सुबह उठ के उसको ख्याल आया कि चलो हम पूरी दुनिया की सफर में चलते हैं और सुबह में निकल पड़े. ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. Actually, he had proper vision for it. He had made proper preparation for it. Here it is clearly mentioned that for the last 16 years, they had spent their free time in expertising their seafaring skill. अब सोच सकते हो आप कि ये जर्नी स्टार्ट करने से पहले उनकी प्रिपरेशन कितने समय से थी. 16 years की प्रिपरेशन थी. जब दिस फैमिली वाज अ बिजनेस फैमिली, सो दे वुड हैव नो टाइम एट ऑल. उनके पास हमारे जितना टाइम नहीं होता है, फिर भी जब भी फ्री टाइम मिलता था तो लास्ट 16 ईयर्स से प्रिपरेशन कर रहे थे. हमें तो बोर्ड की प्रिपरेशन 2 बरस को करनी है, तब हम क्या सोचते हैं यार, वी हैव टू वर्क फॉर 2 years फॉर दिस बोर्ड एग्जामिनेशन, एंड देन समवेयर वी गेट फ्रस्ट्रेटेड. अब ये गॉर्डन कुक का पैशन देखो आप. He had a vision of traveling the entire world through the ship, and for that he had made 16 years of preparation. It is not a small thing, students. 16 years is lot of years. Probably some of you might be of that age. सर आपकी उम्र जितनी तो उन्होंने प्रिपरेशन की थी. 16 years. Anybody would get frustrated in that preparation, but they were strong in their determination. Now then, they had a boat. Actually, it is not a boat. You cannot make a world journey through the boat. लेकिन एक जहाज था, ship, medium size जहाज. They named that ship as Wave Walker. It was 23 meters long and 30-ton wooden hull beauty. Means 30-ton watertight ship. And it was professionally built. The ship was not ordinary one. उसको इसकी प्रॉपर जांच की गई थी कि ये 100-200 किलोमीटर का तो सफर नहीं था. It was a long journey, so it should survive all the weather condition. It should survive the strong current of the water. So सब कुछ उस पर जांच पड़ताल की गई थी कि ये शिप सरवाइव करेगा बैड वेदर में कि नहीं करेगा. We had spent months fitting it out. उसको प्रिपेयर करने में भी बहुत सारा टाइम गया था. Name of the ship was Wave Walker. They had also tested the ship against the roughest of weather. बुरे से बुरा वेदर कंडीशन के सामने उसकी जांच पड़ताल हुई थी कि whether it will survive or not. Dear students, the builder of Titanic was taking proud that nothing can happen to the Titanic. And then history knows, we all know what happened about Titanic. Nothing is powerful against the nature. Nature के सामने किसी की नहीं चलती. No doubt these people took proper precautions. They expertise their skill for 16 years. They had checked their ship also properly, and it was judged properly even against a bad weather condition. लेकिन आगे क्या होता है, what was the will of the God will all come to know in the story. Their first part of the journey, the first leg of our plan 3 years, they had traveled somewhat 105,000 kilometers, and that journey was passed pleasantly. शुरुआत का तो सफर बहुत ही अच्छा रहा. Nothing happened in that phase. उनको कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं हुई. They traveled it very successfully. After completing the first part of the journey, they went up to Cape Town in Africa. Now, after the Cape Town, they know the severe sea condition will be there. There will be lots of ups and downs in the ocean. अफ्रीका तक जब आए थे तो उनको पता था कि वहां पे समुद्र की कंडीशन इतनी बैड नहीं रहती है, लेकिन अब अफ्रीका से आगे जाना, तो उनको पता था या कहीं पे सुना था, या दे वुड हैव स्टडीड द वेदर कंडीशंस ऑफ वेरियस कंट्रीज एंड वेरियस एरियाज, सो दे न्यू कि अफ्रीका से आगे they will have to face somewhere the severe weather condition. So therefore, as a precautionary thing, they hired two people, Larry Weasel, who was American, and Hop Ziegler, he was from Switzerland. He was a Swiss. ये दोनों एक्सपर्ट को लिया ना. दिस Larry Weasel and Herb Ziegler, they were very experts while traveling through the sea, and they could make out, I mean, they can take certain decisions, and if the ship was in a bad condition, I mean, when any help is required, they could definitely work out for Gordon Cook. So that was a smart things done by, I mean, Gordon Cook by hiring these two people when they reach Africa. Author also gives us a reason why he had hired them. Means he knew that he had to pass southern Indian Ocean. This southern Indian Ocean, you can never predict about the weather condition there, and sometimes they have to face the strong waves, strong current of the water, and you can never predict about when it rains, when it doesn't rain. Because of all these things, unpredictable weather condition in southern Indian Ocean, as a precautionary things, this Gordon Cook had hired Larry Weasel and Herb Ziegler. सो प्रीवियस पैराग्राफ में आपको ज्यादातर चीजें पता चल गई होगी. इट वाज द स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द लेसन एंड ऑथर मेड ऑल द प्रिपरेशन टू मेक अ world voyage, and he had a ship which is named as wave walker and all. So let us take this story further, but before we go and move to the next paragraph and all, these are the some technical words related to ship. You know, in our daily use, we know all the words, but some technical words we need, even the teachers will stumble for that, because that is not, these are not the words of daily usage. So यहाँ पे मुझे खुद को दिक्कत हो रही है कुछ वर्ड्स को याद रखने की, उसके प्रॉपर मीनिंग को याद रखने की. So obviously you would also face difficulty in that one, but try to remember if you want to understand and appreciate and enjoy the story. Gales, a very strong wind. Mast, a tall, upright structure on a boat or a ship. शिप के मध्य में आपने एक हैवी वुड देखा होगा जिसके साथ सेल वगैरह अटैच किए जाते हैं. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ओल्ड टाइप ऑफ शिप, not a modern ship. Modern ships are properly checked and made by the engineers, expert engineers and all. We have steamer and all these days, but in those days when the ship were normal, I'm talking about those days. So mast, a tall upright structure on a boat or a ship. Atrocious, very bad, or of a very poor quality. Gigantic, something very huge or big. Probably I assume that you already know that meaning. Zip. Now this is one you need to understand. Zip, it is a triangular staysail set forward the mast in a ship. कई लोगों को शायद सेल वर्ड भी पता नहीं होगा, तो उनके लिए ये है कि जो पुराने टाइप के जहाज थे, समुद्र के जहाज, उसके ऊपर वो क्लॉथ वगैरह रहता था, उसको सेल बोलते हैं. That is especially used for dropping down the speed and speeding sometimes. When there is a stormy situation, that can also work out in that situation. So the various uses are there. So jeep is a triangular staysail set forward the mast in a ship. Then we have knots. Knots is a unit of speed equal to 1 nautical mile per hour. Use especially of ship, aircrafts, or wings. Here in the land, we judge the distance by kilometers or mile. Now, judging the speed of ship there in the water, they use the speed knot, a unit of speed equal to 1 nautical mile per hour. Enormous, a very large size. We already know this one, I feel. Last, to hit with a lot of force. Mooring, the ropes, chains, or anchors by or to which a boat ship is moored. Again, let us reread it. Mooring, the ropes, chains, or anchors by to which a boat is moored. I mean, connected. Look, a shape produced that bends round and crosses bent. Stern, the back part of the ship or a boat is called stern. You'll also have word don, put on, or to wear. Oilskin, heavy cotton cloth, waterproofed with oil. So I know these are the many words. At times you would find difficulty in remembering, but since it is a part and parcel of the study, and if you associate these words with while reading the lesson, understanding will become quite clear and easy for you. On our second day out of Cape Town, we began to encounter strong gales. After they left Cape Town, they started to feel the strong currents of winds. They faced that the wind speed was not normal. They thought that after some time or after a few days at least the wind speed will drop. It would not be a stormy condition. This continued for few weeks and the wind was blowing faster than the usual days. ज्यादातर दिनों में पवन इतना फास्ट नहीं रहता था, लेकिन यहाँ पे केप टाउन पसार करने के बाद उन्होंने एक्सपीरियंस किया कि wind was blowing faster. And with the wind, size of the waves in the sea was also alarming. अब समुद्र के बीचों बीच जो लोग गए होंगे उसको ये सारा एक्सपीरियंस होगा. वी कैन ओनली अज्यूम, क्योंकि हम तो सिर्फ दरिया किनारे रहे हैं, वहां से दूर से वाटर एंजॉय किया है. And that scene itself is a frightening when you see far away, but you will see only body of water, nothing else. अगर आप ऐसा अज्यूम कर लो कि किलोमीटर से किलोमीटर चारों तरफ बस आपको पानी ही पानी दिखाई दे. There is no land area and suddenly waves start to rise. ऐसा सीन अज्यूम ही कर लो तो पता चल जाएगा कि आपके अंदर कैसी फीलिंग हो कि आप समुद्र के बीचों बीच है, पवन की स्पीड बढ़ गई है और वेव्स जो आसपास हो रही है इट इज हैविंग अ सर्टेन हाइट, कुछ नॉर्मल हाइट से ज्यादा हाइट पे वेव स्टार्ट हो जाती है, then what sort of feelings you have? So it was very alarming, and some waves were as big as 15 meters. कुछ waves तो 15 मीटर से भी ऊंची रहती थी, and they were as high as reaching to the top mast. अगर आपने शिप का स्ट्रक्चर देखा होगा तो आपको पता होगा कि पुराने जो शिप रहते थे मध्य में एक बड़ा सा डंडा यानी लकड़ी का रहता था। इट इज हैवी वन, नॉट अ नॉर्मल वन। वो पूरे शिप के सेल को कंट्रोल करता है और उसकी हाइट शिप से भी ज्यादा होती। अब ये जो वेव्स आ रही थी तो इट वर दे वर एज हाई एज द मेन मास्ट। तो आप सोच सकते हो कि ऊपर के मास्ट तक भी चली जाती होगी वेव्स, तो इट वाज नो डाउट अलार्मिंग। But these people, Gordon Cook and family, were expecting that everything will calm down within few hours or few days. अब आपने अगर पहले पढ़ा हो तो फैमिली में उनकी वाइफ थी, वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड मैरी की शी वाज मैच्योर, राइट। उनका जो सन था ही वाज मैरली 6 years old और डॉटर वाज 7 years old. इट वाज रियली एडवेंचरस कि आप 6 और 7 साल के बच्चों को एक ऐसी एडवेंचरस जर्नी पे ले जा रहे हो। इफ समथिंग हैपेंस देयर then looking after them would be very very problematic. But since this is adventurous lesson itself, we are not going to cross question about this, but obviously any father would rethink about doing this sort of journey. From the decision taken by Gordon Cook, we can come to know that he was full of adventurous spirit. This way, after they left Cape Town and they were made by the big waves some far away, and on December 25, they were 3,500 kilometers east of Cape Town. केप टाउन के ईस्टर्न रीजन में वो 3500 किलोमीटर जितनी दूरी पे थे and the weather was horrible. We had a wonderful holiday complete with Christmas tree because 25th is a Christmas and they celebrated this Christmas there in the middle of sea only. They expected that by the time New Year will come, I mean week after the Christmas, weather condition will improve. But sometimes you know what happens when we are expecting good things to happen, then in response occasionally a bad things also turns out. So यहाँ पे वो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे कि न्यू ईयर आते आते शायद कंडीशन सुधर जाएगी, लेकिन here it happens the opposite. New Year's Day saw no improvement in the weather, but we reasoned that it had to change soon. प्रे कर रहे थे, एक्सपेक्टेशन था कि वेदर कंडीशन सुधरेगी, लेकिन it happens the opposite. Rather than improving the condition, it became the worst. Early in the morning on January 2, the waves started rising gigantic. बड़ी बड़ी waves आना start हो जाती हैं. They were sailing with only a small storm jeep. Now jeep, let us reread it here. Jeep, a triangular staysail set forward the mast in a ship. So they were sailing with only a small storm jeep. अगर storm जैसी condition create होती है तो jeep plays an important part while controlling the storm or fighting against the storm, and was still making 8 knots. I mean, that was the speed limit of the ship. At that speed, the ship was moving forward. When they were moving thus forward, they heard the great sound of the waves and winds and spray of water. It was all very noisy there because of the huge waves and the speed of wind. To slow the boat down, we dropped the storm jeep and lashed a heavy mooring rope in a loop across the stern. Stern is, as it was discussed, it was the back part of the ship. They tied everything very carefully. They tied everything with a rope so that in an emergency, everything could be under control. They went through our life raft drills, attached lifelines. आपने शायद टाइटैनिक मूवी देखी होगी, तो बड़े जहाजों में छोटी छोटी बोट्स रखी जाती है लाइफ लाइन जैसा, कि इन इमरजेंसी इफ द बिग शिप happens something to the big ship, then using the lifeline boats, small boats which was already kept inside the big ship, they can save their life. So here everything was made ready as a precautionary thing or emergency, you can say. They also wear clothes that needed. They got ready with the life jackets. जब भी आप कांकरिया वगैरह में गए होंगे तो आपको एक जैकेट पहनाया जाता है. In case something happens while boating and if you fall down into water, then life jacket can keep you to the upper surface of the water. तो ऐसे प्रिकॉशन लिए जाते हैं फैमिली के द्वारा कि the condition was getting worse. If something happens, then in that situation they will definitely do something. Okay, students, we are keeping the story up to here. Next time we shall begin the video from here onwards, but as a revision or recalling entire incident, let me have a quick explanation of it in a simple way. Author Gordon Cook एक बिजनेसमैन थे, लेकिन अंदर से वो एडवेंचरस स्पिरिट वाले व्यक्ति थे. उनको वर्ल्ड वॉयस में जाना था, तो उन्होंने पूरी फैमिली को तैयार किया. उनका एक लड़का था जोनाथन 6 ईयर, लड़की थी सुजैन 7 ईयर, उनकी वाइफ का नाम था मैरी. दे वर अ बिजनेस फैमिली. और ये जो गॉर्डन को पहले एक्चुअली 16 ईयर्स से तैयारी कर रहे थे. बाय द टाइम चिल्ड्रन वर नॉट बॉर्न इवन, तब से वो तैयारी कर रहे थे. फिर उनके पास एक शिप था जिसका नाम बताया गया है वेव वॉकर. वेव वॉकर को भी अच्छी तरह से टेस्ट किया गया था, और they had also tested it against a very bad weather condition. अगर कुछ भी हो जाए तो ये शिप सर्वाइव करेगा कि नहीं करेगा, ये सब जांच पड़ताल करके वो अपनी जर्नी स्टार्ट करते हैं फ्रॉम प्लेमाउथ इंग्लैंड. They reached up to Cape Town, Africa. From Cape Town, Africa, they hired two people there. They were Larry Vigil and Herb Ziegler. दो एक्सपर्ट को हायर करते हैं in case there is an emergency, because they had to travel to the southern Indian Ocean. वहाँ पे वेदर कंडीशन बहुत बुरी रहती है ज़्यादातर दिनों में, तो उन्होंने सोचा कि Now they have to face very bad weather condition in the southern Indian Ocean. So it was a wise decision taken by them. उसके बाद we are told that they were some 3,500 kilometers away from Cape Town, and they celebrated Christmas there in the sea only in the middle of a sea, and wind was blowing faster than the normal day. They thought that weather condition will improve gradually. This way, the new year also came. They waited for a week, but in new year also, the wind speed was faster than usual. They expected good things to happen, but rather the weather started behaving badly. Rather than improving the condition became worse on the 2nd January. So they made all precautionary things ready. They were ready with their lifelines. They tied the ship thoroughly. They controlled the jeep. They tied the ropes at the from the behind. I mean stern also. So after that, what happens? We are going to talk about this in the second video. Wait for the second video. Till then, whatever has been discussed till now, you keep it in mind. Hope you would like the story further too, and I want that eagerness from your side to study about this lesson. What happens. That curiosity, makes the story interesting. So, till I come out with the next video, it's goodbye from me. Have a good day ahead.